Now, obviously, it would be nonsensical to just dismiss City from as title challenges after just 11 games, given their history of success. But obviously, we mentioned a lack of form and injuries has sort of opened it up for maybe a few teams, or one in particular, Liverpool, who now sit 5 points clear at the top. Is it too early to question whether it's Liverpool's title to lose now after, considering their early advantage and the form that they've shown so far?
To lose, I think is quite dramatic. In the same way it'd be if it was City the way around, because it's still only 11 games into the season. There's an awful lot of football to play, and I think even Liverpool fans would feel that way too, especially given the fact that Liverpool and City have got to play each other twice. So let's see how that goes first. But they've been wonderful, and I do think they're sort of playing reasonably pressure free as well. I mean, everyone was looking at Arsenal, and they're currently 9 points behind Liverpool. They've had a real dip in form. Liverpool, as I've said before in these videos, actually, I think the experience Liverpool have got, there's I think Slot is helping them as much as they're helping Slot as well. Like I do feel obviously Slot coming in, sort of slightly tweaking the system is probably a good thing. A fresher Liverpool, change of scenery because Klopp's such an emotional manager, a brilliant manager. Likable for some people, some not apparently, which we won't go into. That I do feel that momentum was naturally going to sort of drain a little bit at some point. And I think Liverpool were tired in the way that he was as well, personally. But then you come in bringing a manager who is subtle tweaks, not massive tweaks. They have changed how they play, but it's not aggressive. And it's just enough to get them motivated again. A very similar character, happy-go-lucky, very likable actually. Slightly, if I'm being honest, annoyingly as a City fan, I have to say that. But then they have the quality of Salah and Alexander-Arnold and Van Dijk and Robertson and Allison. And then World Cup winner in McAllister, and then he's done what most great managers do. And he might end up a great manager, he might not, but he reinvigorates a play that maybe you don't see at the happening. Like I think Canate's gone to another level under him. Gravenberch has been really, really good. He had a career changing level of form actually, Gravenberch, if I'm being honest. So I think he's done a really good job, and I think once again the experience has dragged him up. Salah's been absolutely phenomenal, and when you've got people like obviously Van Dijk as well, it's hard for any manager not to win games with that quality. And but then that sort of fresh tweak has helped them. So I think they're in a really nice little situation where they're playing without pressure because no one expected them to be there. They were in a season where they finished top four. No one really questioned it too much because big changes, lost a legend. Yet they're just playing freely. They're playing good football, and there's a real nice chemistry for them. So I was always more scared of a Liverpool side, more motivated than an Arsenal one because we've been head to head for them before as a City fan. Of course, City Liverpool has been a big thing for a long time. So they they are not going to. I don't think they're going to let up in the way that Arsenal will. Personally, I think Arsenal haven't done it, and there was always the presumption that the third season they keep getting better and better and better. It's never that simple. There's only so long you can get better for before eventually he starts to eat away a little bit mentally. And there's always the impression for me personally, anyway, and it could be nonsense. They could turn it around that they were fighting themselves a little bit, just as much as they were the teams around them. And I do think Arsenal they look a little bit shell shocked. Of course, the return of Odegaard might make a massive difference, but still drop points against Chelsea. A very good Chelsea side, don't get me wrong. And I'd be amazed if they're not looking at the table, Arsenal, and feeling, here we go again. Because, Liverpool, look, they probably think it should be them there. And when City have dropped and lost 4 games in a row, they're still off the pace by, a fair bit, Live Arsenal. And that can't be good for them. They are, how many points behind City are they? They are, is it 4? Yeah, 4 points behind City,
Yeah, yeah.
9 behind Liverpool. Yeah, well, I'm taking Liverpool more seriously because I think they deserve to be taken more seriously, and that's not entirely because of the table currently. I mean, that obviously plays a lot into it, but I think it's because of the players that they've got and because they've been there and done it. And I think Arsenal right now, no, they're not out of it by any stretch. Football can change so quickly. All it takes is 2 Liverpool draws and 2 Arsenal wins, and all of a sudden that's cut to fourth. I don't know what maths will be there, but a few points, put it that way. Um, and things change very quickly. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's quite tight at the top. I mean, obviously Liverpool are 5 clear of City, and then there's a 4 point gap between City and Chelsea and Arsenal in third and fourth, respectively, as well as Forest and Brighton. It's quite tight there. I think there's
Yeah.
only 4 points separating. Is it United are down in 13th and Chelsea are up in third, so it's really tight there. But Liverpool leading the way, 5 points clear. Were you surprised at all by Guardiola's comments after the Brighton game? He said that maybe another team deserves to win the title this year, and after winning so many, should we read too much into that? Is he almost accepting that City have been far from the best, and maybe someone else,
No.
most like Liverpool, could win the league
I
or
saw he said it, and
shape?
it was a question. He was like, "Well, maybe another team does deserve it to win it this year." Like he was answering the question that was thrown at him by essentially sort of not agreeing as such, but going, "Yeah, you could be right." And I think Guardiola has always done that. He's always said, it's not possible always to keep winning every season, and I think he's just being realistic, and he's sort of doing he's doing the whole football is football thing, and that I will not complain whatever happens because I don't think Guardiola would ever concede. I don't. He's just not in his personality. Look, I'd be amazed if he concedes a game of ping pong against his daughter. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if he plays ping pong, but I'm getting that. In general, he would never concede anything. I think he's just an inherent winner. That's what separates people like him from the maybes because they just want to win aggressively. So I think he's been pragmatic. I think everything he says in the press conference as well is considered. He's far too long in the tooth to not know his what impact his words have, on the press and they lead to questions like this when we all chat about it and stuff like that. He knows what he's doing, of course he does, and it's definitely a way to get through to his players as well, and basically say nothing is for granted. And if someone finishes ahead of us, it's because they will have deserved it, and ultimately it's on City to respond to that. So I wouldn't read too much into that. It's very very Guardiola. He's often the first to admit if a team deserves to beat them. He's always been reasonably humble with stuff like that. And I think this is just sort of the same thing again here. He's just admitting that right now we don't deserve it, and maybe another team will do, but I guess we will see. So.